All right, we are live right now. Hi, everybody. My name's Jamie, and I'm joined by Rebecca. I actually never asked you. Do you say it Dezall or Dezal or Dezal?
Dezell. No,
Dez,
Dezell. Yeah,
Dezell, like a
Dezell.
gazelle,
Yeah.
like a gazelle, but with a D.
Yeah, I mean, I used to get Rebecca the Gazelle.
Rebecca the Gazelle. Sold. All right, we've already got a nickname, and we're just getting started. Um, and you're based in Red Deer,
hmm
and I visited your campus Monday, and it was the first time I've actually been inside the campus in probably 3 years. I think I had only been inside once, which was my interview 3 years ago. And other than that, I've been at your campus, but I don't think I've been inside. I even was inside the second building that's attached, but I've not been inside for 3 years, when it was really cool to be back. So anyway, we are gonna get started, and today what we're doing is basically a meet and greet for anybody that doesn't know Rebecca. We're gonna ask questions. This is called 10 questions. We're spotlighting one of our employees. Rebecca's an admissions advisor in our Red Deer campus. But to be honest, I actually have 15 questions. So we're calling it 10, but I had so many things that I wanted to ask that I decided to make it 15. That doesn't mean it's gonna be super long. But we are all going to get to know Rebecca. And if you are in Red Deer, you want to know who Rebecca is for reasons that you'll find out a little bit later. If you're not in Red Deer, it's still good to know who Rebecca is because you support some of our campuses outside of Red Deer as well, right? From time to time?
Yep, I've worked with the Medicine Hat campus, the Calgary campus, and the Edmonton campuses. So I've kind of been everywhere.
Yeah, so definitely a great person to know. So we're just gonna jump into it. Before, sorry, we're not. I do want to share one thing quickly, and I'm gonna put this in the comments. For starters, if you have any questions as you're watching this that you want me to ask Rebecca, just type them in, and as long as they're appropriate, I will ask them. If they're inappropriate, we will not go through those. But as long as they are appropriate, and you just had your computer fall over on you.
Yeah, that light fell off on me. That
Of
clip
course
does
it did.
not
Well,
work.
hey, we can see you just fine. But if you do have any questions as you're watching, just put them in the comments. Even if you're watching after this broadcast ends, if you've got questions that you want to find out about our Red Deer campus or about Rebecca, throw them in there. And again, as long as they're appropriate, we will actually answer them. But the other thing I'm going to put in right off the bat is, let me just... Oh, I need to get the right link. We're doing a registration only event next Wednesday. So that's December 8th at this exact same time. And one of the reasons why we're interviewing and getting to know Rebecca is we're promoting this event that's happening next week. And I've just put a link in the chat. And so hopefully that works. If it doesn't, you'll have to let me know. But we're running it. The only way that you're going to be able to participate is if you go register through Eventbrite. And it'll be streamed basically the same way, streamed on YouTube, I think. So you can watch it there. But the only way that you're going to get the link is if you register. And what that event is, we're calling it 3 Secrets to Landing a High-Paying Job in Business. And so obviously we're a career college, and we do a bunch of different business programs. And so we will talk a little bit about those. But the main thing, or the main reason that we're doing it, is not as a specific promotion of our business programs, but to actually share some advice. And there's 3 things that we're not going to share right now, because that's why you have to come to the event to find out. But it's essentially asking the question, if you're interested in working in the field of business, so you want to be a manager, a supervisor, you enjoy business, you want to be in a professional office, or even running your own business, the question is, how do I get from where I am today to that place? And that's what we're answering. And for some of you who come and join, maybe it is through Academy of Learning, but the 3 secrets are going to apply to anybody who is looking at whether you need education or whether you need to do something special. These are the secrets. Anyway, all that said, let's jump into the questions. Again, this is 10 questions with Rebecca, but I really have 15. And I'm going to just jump right in. The first question is, Rebecca, if you were stuck on an island, we got some fun ones. We do have some serious ones as well. If you were stuck on an island, what 3 things would you bring?
This one's a hard one. Probably my family, number one. I'd bring them with me, so I don't have to be alone.
Nobody says that. That's so smart.
Well, I don't want to be alone. I need somebody to help me hunt and get food, and
Yeah.
and then I'd probably bring matches so that we could start a fire.
Oh, that's
and some food.
smart. Okay. How much food though?
As much as I can bring.
As much food as you can bring.
As much as I can bring.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could ask the question, well, what's on the island?
It's true. Do I have animals I can hunt?
Yeah, who knows?
Are there coconuts?
Yeah, that's a really good point as well. But you'll have matches, you'll have some food, and you'll have family. What more do you need?
Not much more.
Good answer. All right, we got another, I'll say silly one, but it's fun. A fun question. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I think it would be time travel. If you could go back in time and forward in time.
Okay, well, I got to ask the follow-up. Okay, so you go back in time. How far back do you go?
As far as you want. That's
Is
what
there a
the
specific
superpower's
moment
about.
you'd go back to?
I don't know.
Or you
My
just want to like go
childhood,
into
for
history?
sure. Like, you never enjoy your childhood as a child, and then when you get older, you wish you would have enjoyed it a little bit more.
Okay, good answer. And is there a place you'd go forward to?
Maybe my older years to see how my children have turned out. And then if there's any changes I needed to make, I could go back.
That's really smart. That's really smart. All right, next question we have, number 3. What is your favorite Starbucks order?
Ooh.
And if you're like, I don't do Starbucks, that's okay. That's an answer.
No, I guess it depends on the season, because if it's Christmas, I like the gingerbread latte. But then they discontinued it this year. So I had to change my order this year, and I had to go to the sugar cookie latte.
So healthy.
It was not healthy, but normally I like the white chocolate mocha though too.
Nice.
Yeah.
White chocolate mocha, gingerbread. Does anyone else anywhere else make a gingerbread one? I feel like Second Cup's got to have something like that.
They don't have one either this year.
What?
I know, it's like,
well, you know, all the supply chain issues in COVID. It just got rid of ginger.
That's actually what it was. It was.
No.
I asked the lady at Starbucks, because I was like, "How could you discontinue that?" And she said it was actually a supply shortage. We don't have it. And I was like,
we ran out of ginger.
Okay.
Hey, it kind of makes sense.
It kind of does, but I was pretty upset.
Nice. All right. Now for an actual insightful one. How did you first hear about Academy of Learning?
Actually, I heard about Academy of Learning because I was looking to go back to school, and I did a Google search, and I found us through Google.
Interesting.
Yep.
What were you searching for?
Business programs, actually.
You're like, I want to go into business.
Yep.
How do I do it? And you typed in.
Mm-hmm. And it led me to Academy of Learning. I didn't know that it actually existed before I did that search. So, and it's funny, I seen the building when I went to the mall. I'd see that building there on the corner, but I never really knew what it was. So.
Yeah, for anyone who's in Red Deer, if you're at the mall and you go north, you basically drive right by it. But what's the intersection?
We're right beside Sunnybrook Farms, right across from the Red Deer Advocate on Bremner Avenue. So it's literally right down the street from even Sims Furniture, the Salvation Army. There's a bunch of different businesses we do have on this block. So
cool.
But I did used to drive by it, and I never knew what it was. I seen the building with all these computers, but I never knew what it was until I did a Google search.
Yeah, it's really neat. Whether this is a sales pitch or not, to come and check it out. What I said to you the other day was I felt like I was inside one of those welcome centers. Like if you go
really
to,
cool place.
Yeah, it's got the cool ceiling and lots of windows. It's a nice environment there. So cool. All right, so that's how you heard about Academy of Learning. All right, here's a really tough question. Just got to turn off my space heaters making noise. And this may be the hardest question that you answer this entire time. What do you do
at Academy of Learning?
Yeah, well, I guess you don't have to go that direction, but
I am an admissions advisor first, so I do advise students, prospective students, into program of choice and help them with the enrollment from student aid finances to transcripts to exams. I guide them through the entire process. As well, I am our campus lead and our community relations here in Red Deer.
Nice. And so what does that mean?
Community
lead.
relations,
Okay,
that
start
is,
with
I
community relations. Yeah.
I'm out in the community building relationships with other groups that and other communities within our community, as well as promoting Academy of Learning. And then with the campus lead, I'm just our motivation here. I keep our team together and I solve any problems we have along the way.
Yep. So if you have a problem, doesn't even matter if it's related, just go to Academy of Learning and take it up with Rebecca. It could be about something going on in your family. It could be something about the city, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, I'm here to help.
She's here to help. Yeah, awesome. All right. So the second question is going to be, it's number 6, but the follow-up question to what do you do is kind of like, why do you do what you do? So what motivates you to wake up every day and actually go to work? And before you answer, this is a real big thing because there's this thing called, I think it's the Sunday night blues. And there's a thing called every morning blues. I just made that up, but it's got to be a thing where people just don't want to go to work. Yeah. Why do you actually get up every day and go to work?
Well, I actually love my job, so I don't really hate coming here. The biggest thing that I love about my job is that I get to help people. And then the afterwards of after they've graduated and they found success, and just getting that interaction with students. I am happy that I'm able to be back at the campus and actually see people in person again. That is something I really missed during COVID because you were interacting with people virtually, but you didn't actually get to meet them and see them here at the campus. We are open again so students can come to our campus, which is nice because it's really nice when I get to see students popping in to pick up diplomas or just coming here to do some work. It's really nice to see them again. I missed that busyness during COVID. You just miss that interaction that you had with the students.
Yeah,
and I love it here. I love it when it's busy here and you get to see all the students.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was talking to it doesn't matter who. I was talking to someone. They were asking me like, "Hey, what is it about Academy of Learning? And like, what's the main thing?" I'm like, I don't know. Like, people just say we change people's lives, and that sounds really salesy for me to say that. But we're such a people business. Mm-hmm. The people that we hire are people. Our students are often people. And it is good when you can actually see and engage with somebody socially. At the same time, it's really nice that we've been able to still provide support to students who want to learn online. But it is nice now, like literally any student can decide how they want to learn. They can do everything completely online if they're more comfortable, but you can actually go in and you can go meet with different people in staff, get help with your programs, get help with whatever you're facing with a real human being. It is really nice.
It is nice. And it is nice to see their faces again.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to a fun one. Favorite travel spot? Where would you go if you could go, or where do you go when you go?
Disneyland. I'm a kid at heart. That is my favorite place.
Now, I've never been. I've been to Disney
World.
It's so
much fun.
But not Disneyland.
Disney World was our next goal, but then COVID happened and we haven't been there.
Was it a place you went like regularly or just as a kid?
With our children, we've been there a few times, and my kids love going, and they say I love it more than them. So,
hey, that's fair. My friends of mine did their honeymoon there, which seems so bizarre.
You know what? It's for adults too. Anybody says it's so much fun.
To do. Do you ever watch the is it the Disney Santa Claus parade?
No, I don't watch that. But the reason why I love going there is because I'm a busy person. I can't if you go to a travel spot where you're just relaxing, I just can't do it. There's just something about me. I just can't relax. I like to be busy. I like doing things. I just like being interactive the whole time and doing something. I can't relax. There's something about me. I just cannot lay on a beach and relax.
Yeah, there's so much to do there. Yeah. Well, anyway, I shouldn't say I watch. My wife always watches the parade, and they have like their little promotional videos constantly,
Okay.
because they're doing the parade to sell Disneyland and Disney World.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, I want to go. I want to go. I don't, where are the kids?
Yep.
That's my
Let's
excuse
go.
to go. But yeah, COVID. All right, next one. Still another fun one. You had to eat one meal every day for the rest of your life. What would it be?
That one's really hard. I don't even have a favorite meal. So I guess steak.
Really?
Steak, if I had to. I could eat that every day.
Every day for the rest of your life.
I probably could do steak. I don't
All
know
right.
about
So how do
any-
you how do you have your steak done?
Oh, medium rare.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. There was I watched a video the other day where it's basically saying that it's the law that if it's beyond that, just leave.
You gotta leave.
And I was like, that's not a real law. It's like, in my house it is. So medium rare. I agree with you. I'll cook it a little more for my wife. She thinks it's still alive. But anyway.
I like medium rare.
All right, next one. What is something that most people don't know about you?
Well, a lot of people don't know when they come into my office that I was actually a student at Academy of Learning once. Yeah, they usually never know that. I typically get asked the question, well, where did you go to school? And then I get to answer, I actually came to Academy of Learning as well. And then people are usually surprised by that I was actually once a student here myself.
Yep, and that's something really cool. The number of staff that we have that used to be students is really
really
neat.
high. Yeah.
Yeah, really inspiring. But it's helpful for any other student to come knowing that, hey, the person who's giving me advice, the person who's going to be helping me, there's a I don't know, like a 50-50 chance. I feel like it's like 50% of our staff.
Probably, yeah, on average.
Yeah, you got like basically a 50-50 chance the person who's helping has been in your shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that makes a big difference.
I think it does too, because you can see that somebody else found success, that you can too.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next one. Insightful. What is the best career lesson you've learned so far in your career?
That one's really hard. I don't really know how to answer that one.
No, just so everybody who's watching this knows, I did not tell Rebecca what the question is.
He did not give me a heads up.
It's more fun this way, off the cuff.
I don't know. That one's really hard. I don't really know what the best career lesson I've learned so far is.
All right. Well, what about if you gave someone a piece of career advice that you've learned? Which is the same question asked a different way.
Your career is going to be what you make of it.
See? Boom. You had an answer. Your career is going to be what you make of it. We're going to roll straight into the second question because I want you to further elaborate on that. What's the best piece of advice you give to new students? Or is that different?
No, actually, you know what I always tell students? Your education is going to be exactly what you make of it. So what you put into your education here is what you're going to receive out of it.
So what you're saying is
Hard
I can't
work
just
pays
show
off.
up.
Yeah.
I actually have to put in some work.
You do actually have to put in some effort. You have to put in hard work. If you're just showing up and getting by, it's probably not, it's going to show into your career moving forward. You've got to show up and you've got to put in effort. Everything you make out of it, your experience totally is what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, and that is good general career advice, not just for education, but for whatever you do. It's the difference between an ownership mentality and a victim mentality.
Yep.
Ownership says, I don't care what my circumstances are. I'm going to do everything that I can within my control to rise above my circumstances. And the victim mentality says, it's not my fault. And I can't. I'm not able to.
Yep.
An ownership mentality says, I'm going to give it everything that I've got. It's amazing.
No matter what's thrown at me.
Yeah. And that type of attitude can get you through some real difficult times.
Definitely can.
And something that, actually, you know what? You'll have to, okay, I'm not going to answer it right now because we're going to be stealing some of these secrets that we're talking about on our event next week. So again, if you're watching this, whether you're watching live or watching on the replay, next Wednesday, Rebecca is sharing with me. We're doing a presentation, registration only, and there's a link in the comments. It's on Eventbrite. 3 secrets to landing a high-paying job in business. So if you have an interest in a career in business, working in a professional office environment, management, anything like that, you're going to want to check this out. And I almost started giving away some secrets, but you have to wait till next Wednesday. All right, next question. Another kind of fun one, maybe personal, but what are your top 3 life highlights? They don't have to be in order. I won't judge you.
Well, my children would be number 1, having my 2 children, that is. I love being
sorry, how old are your kids?
My son is 7 years old and my daughter is 13. So there's a bit of an age gap between them, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Wonderful. Yeah, my kids are how old? Okay.
Well,
why am I blanking? 8, 5. Well, one of them turned 6 in like a month. So 8, 5. And a year and a half, so we've got a little bit of a gap.
They're closer.
5 years in between the twin girls and my middle. I guess he's not middle. There's 4, but my 5-year-old, and then a 8-year-old. But the gap is nice because, and I'm sure you felt this way. My older 2 can actually help with the babies.
Oh yeah, no. When my son was born, she was a big help. I'll say that much.
yeah, awesome. Okay, anyway, that's life highlight number 1. Your children.
Life highlight number 2 would probably graduating college, and that was through Academy of Learning. I ended up graduating through us, and
that's a big moment.
Yeah, it was a really exciting moment for me. And then number 3. I think would probably be, it was a highlight actually for both me and my husband this summer. We're big hunters, and his biggest goal is to get, a goal we have for each other that we want to achieve together is getting every type of sheep there is, so a Grand Slam. And he got a Dall sheep. It was a present that me and the kids had given him to go on a hunt in the Yukon. And he actually achieved that and got his Dall sheep. So I was very proud of him for that, but also proud because now we get a nice big sheep mount in our house.
Oh, cool.
So that was a highlight for us because it was actually a rare sheep he got to. It's called a fanning sheep, so it has black in it as well, which they're very rare now. So it was really cool when he got to go home and show that off that we were able to give him that as a present. So
that's awesome.
That's a huge highlight because we do have a lot of different animals throughout our house. We've got bears and deer, but we got a really nice deer this year too, and that was a super cool moment for us as well. So
neat. Well,
that is one of our hobbies outside of work. One of my biggest hobbies.
Well, I didn't have
hunting with him.
Next time we do an interview with you, we'll have to ask the question: how many animals are in your home?
Yeah. Well, a lot of them are at the taxidermist still, but they're coming.
We have a beaver. Actually, I shouldn't say we. It's at my mother-in-law's, and no one wants it. My father-in-law, he passed away, I guess, just less than a year ago, and he got it a number of years ago, and then decided he wanted to give it away, and was like,
nobody wanted it.
He even went to the Calgary Zoo, and he's just like, hey, we're in Canada, you're Canadian, you don't have a beaver. And he's like, I've got a beaver if you want a beaver. And I said no. So it's just such a bizarre thing. It's like you don't need any money for it. Anyway,
you should try like taking it to like Cabela's or something. They have lots of
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Cabela's anyway, I don't think my mother-in-law wants the beaver, so we don't want
you could try donating it to like Cabela's.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something we can do with it. So anyway, that is not a question for you though. All right. Next question for you, Rebecca. How would your family or friends, and I'll add, or maybe even coworkers, describe you in 3 words?
The first one would probably be stubborn. I'm very stubborn. Impatient. I like things done a certain way, and I like it done then, and I like it done now. I don't like to wait. And then I would probably say silly. I'm a silly person. I like to joke around.
Silly. Those things, I can't say that those things must be common. Being both impatient, stubborn, and funny or silly. It just seems like silly is such a waste of time for an impatient, stubborn person.
Yeah, maybe, but
Interesting. Nice. Okay. Next question then. Speaking of family, which hit your top 3 highlights and how your family describes you. How do you balance career and family?
well, that one's an interesting one. My husband's really understanding of my job. He knows that I love my job, so he doesn't ever get upset with me if I'm working in the evenings. Because I am a workaholic and he knows that about me. But he knows I love my job, so he never gets upset with me. But usually on the weekends, I try to limit that and just give them me. So
Yeah.
my family's very understanding. If I'm working, they know to just
Yeah. You
let me
also
work.
you've built your schedule to be able to do what you need to do during the day as
Hmm.
well, right? Like you get in pretty early, or you
I
start working early.
I start working very early. I have quite a system of my own where I like to work early, and then I have the time to get my children off to school, so I have that time with them, and then I just come into the office till they're done school, and then we get home, and then I usually do a little bit of wrap up work in the evenings. But then they get that one-on-one time with me, so I do schedule and balance it well, that it isn't usually interrupting with my family life. But if I does, they are understanding that I have to step aside and take a call or respond to some emails.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a transitional pitch for our school, just calling it what it is. But uh, one of the reasons I put that question in is because balancing work and life is a very, very specific focus of our college, and hopefully you experienced that when you were a student. But it's how we look at our staff. Obviously, like family is extremely important. Being healthy is extremely important, and working hard and accomplishing your goals is extremely important. And that also goes with how we structured our programs. Like we've got, and you can comment better than I can, but how many of our students are working other jobs or have families or are
There's
single
so many,
parents?
so many. And that was one of the things that actually attracted to me to Academy of Learning when I was looking, was because I needed something flexible because I had 2 children. I couldn't just go to lecture here or there during different class times during the day. I needed something that worked for me. And it did. I was able to balance my family life while in school and while working at the same time. So, and it worked out great for me. So, that was one of the main things that attracted me to Academy of Learning at first. But then when I came here and met with the people and just seen everything that they could do to help me get into school, was my point where I made my decision right there.
Yeah, yeah, it makes
It was the
such a
support
difference.
I received from the beginning to the end, but the support at the start was what I needed because I didn't know what I was doing when it came to funding, anything like that.
Yeah,
I didn't have a clue, and when I came here and got that help, it made me feel like I was making the right decision.
yeah, it's so good to hear. It's some what a common question that should be asked, and unfortunately, we're creatures of habit and creatures of not asking enough questions. But it's such an important question. If you're looking at college anywhere, to actually ask whoever it is, the admissions advisor, how can I actually do this? Like, can I actually graduate? Can I actually balance this? Can I actually afford this? It's way better to just go and talk to someone about it and find out whether or not it'll work for you than to just make the assumption.
Yep.
I can't do it. Oh, I could never go to school. Oh, I could never afford it. That's the job of an admissions advisor, is to give you a clear, realistic picture of what's possible. And not every school is going to solve your problems, so you got to go find out. And then you can make a choice based on what works for you and your family. So, thanks for answering so perfectly.
You're
uh, and
welcome.
last question before we close this off: what are 3 words that you would use to describe Academy of Learning Career College?
The first one would be community. I think we are a great community with our students and our staff. Flexible. We are flexible and accommodating. We accommodate all of our students.
Love it. Community, flexible, accommodating. Those are good words, especially if you're looking to change your life. If you're watching this and you're exploring options and you're looking for more money, a better job, a better schedule, maybe check out a school that has a great community, is flexible and accommodating. That'd be a good sales pitch right there. Awesome. Well, we've run out of time. This took way longer than I thought, but there's been fun chatting with you, Rebecca. Again, if you're watching this, what we want to have happen is we want you to join us next Wednesday. If you look in the comment, I already commented it. It's an Eventbrite link. And the only way you get to watch this, it's 3 secrets to, what is it? 3 secrets to landing a high-paying job in business. If you're interested in a career in business, in a professional office environment, or you want to run a business, or you want to be in management, you want to work in a corporate office, any of that, or if you simply are unemployed or feel underemployed and you want to make more money in a better job and businesses of interest, you want to come to this, where we're going to walk through exactly what we said, 3 secrets to how do you actually get the job that you want. And at the end, the 3 secrets are not go to Academy of Learning, go to Academy of Learning, and go to Academy of Learning. They're actually really, really good. Rebecca and I were working on this presentation earlier this week, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So go register for that. Tell your friends about it. If you know someone who is interested in a career in business, this will be helpful to them. And you can go to Eventbrite to register. It's the only way you'll be able to watch it. And also, when you register, you will have the opportunity to schedule a one-on-one career counseling thing with Rebecca. So if you wanted to ask some questions, you'll be able to do that because you registered for the event. So with all that said, Rebecca, we will talk again next Wednesday. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I'm sure everyone else enjoyed. One last thing. If you're watching the replay of this and you have a question, any question, even if it's a silly question, put it in the comments. And I will find it, and we will ask it. And we may even ask it on the event next week. So be ready. Other than that, have a great day, everybody.
All right.
And it was a pleasure chatting with you, Rebecca.
It's nice seeing you. Bye.
Oh, no. Sorry.
No.
One more thing. We can't close this off. If you want to talk to Rebecca, you don't have to wait till next week. This is her contact information. I should have said that. Rebecca D. at myaolcc.com. You can email her, or you can call her directly at 403-967-0290, and she will actually answer and tell you so many wonderful things. All right. Okay. That's it. Have a good day.
All right. Bye.
Bye.